Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Tuesday, January 30th, 2024 and I want to start with an article I saw in Dutch media, but it's very interesting. It has to do with Hungary and with Orban. Of course, is still refusing to support this package from like 50 billion euro to Ukraine. So he's still being very difficult. And this apparently leaked to the Financial Times that there is a plan by the employers, well, the European Union bureaucrats, it's really a bureaucratical decision, to actually come up with a strategy. This is called a secret plan, although it's not that secret anymore because it's leaked. They're going to try to manipulate, sabotage the Hungarian economy. And they're going to do that by having European Union leaders publicly announce that they're probably going to stop all funding to Budapest. And this will lead, of course, to the Hungarian coin that will drop, obviously. And a lot of investors won't be investing anymore. So in that way, they hope to shake up the European, at least the Hungarian economy system. Well, it's important that this comes out because of a lot of people don't understand that this is how it works. And they've been doing this for a very long time by manipulating with money. That's why the European Union want all these countries dependent on them, because then if they pull the plug on certain funding, the country, if they don't do what they tell them to do, will of course will return back to the order as it was. That's the intention. And it's interesting that this is coming out now. And I think a lot of people are now starting to realize that this is happening. Of course, the people that are already aware of this know that this has been happening for years, not just in the European Union, but everywhere with governments, bureaucrats. That's how they manipulate people, get them to do what they want. And it's good that this is now coming out, and it's interesting to see how Orban is going to respond to this, obviously. And because it's not that secret now anymore, it will be difficult to do what they were planning to do because it's going to be so obvious now. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I want to start, the first thing I wanted to look at is more light. It's about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I shared a clip from, or a video from Benny Johnson, and this is about it. Let's see, I have to look up the... This is Vivek Ramaswamy makes prediction that Swift and her boyfriend Travis Kelce, backed by Deep State, are part of like a manipulation that is going on to rig the NFL. After the NFL Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Swift and Kelce will push for Democrats to vote against Mr. T. And probably try to influence as many people as possible to vote against Mr. T. So this is very interesting. This is what Vivek is actually kind of predicting. It was kind of in a fun way, but it's interesting to see. And so I just wanted to take a look at that energy, because obviously for a very long time, celebrities have been used. In the clip, I just saw the first part of Benny Johnson was that the music catalog was bought. I think was a clip from 2019 from Taylor Swift by Scooter Braun, but with the money of George Soros. So he actually bought the catalog, and Benny is kind of implying that later on she kind of turned suddenly political. So maybe it had to do as leverage. I think that she was in a certain camp all along, because you're not going to get that big without being in that camp. So I do think she was always going to be used for that. But of course, see what resonates with you. I believe she's actually recording all the music. How to say this? She is recording it again. So then it will become hers again. So I'm not sure how that goes. But it's very interesting. So I do believe that she's going to be used, but I just wanted to see what the cards will have to say if they are actually going to use this. And interesting enough is also, are the Kansas City Chiefs going to win, of course, the Super Bowl? Because Vivek is obviously convinced about that in a way, because that will bring a lot of attention to the couple. And then, of course, they can start endorsing who they want to endorse. It's interesting to see. I saw some channel that was like, well, you cannot rig a game like that. I believe it's very possible to do that. I think it's been happening for a very long time, even with Super Bowl and other, it's soccer and all kinds of games. I think it's very likely it's possible to manipulate that. And there have been scandals before, at least in soccer, with bribing, the referees or with certain players that were playing a certain way. You can really influence people and influence things. So I do think that is possible. Another thing I wanted to mention was that the Kansas City Chiefs won from the Ravens. I wrote it down because really I don't know anything about the NFL. With 17-10. 17-10. I thought that was very interesting. So I just wanted to take a look with the cards of, what is this about? What is the energy? We have the 3 of Wands. We've got the 10 of Wands as the central card. We've got the King of Cups in the past. We have the 3 of Swords underneath the 10 of Wands. And we have the Fool and the Ace of Swords in the future. So to me, this is like a yes. They are going to use them to promote whoever is going to be the candidate. I don't think it's going to be Mr. B. We'll have to wait and see. It's probably a wife. Well, that's... wife, well, someone was being married to a former president or still married to a former president. It's very likely they're going to push that candidate forward. We just have to wait and see. But they are going to most likely use Taylor and Kelsey for things like that. But it's also to show people, because this is the wait and see card, like wait and see. And this is the card that people are completely suppressed by all these things and are like, what is going on, with a lot of old pain. So this is also about showing people what's been going on. And a lot of people are completely fed up with the administration as it is, which is Mr. B, which is Democratic, and how they've been handling certain situation in the USA. It's just really a mess. The economy is a mess. Of course, happening with taxes. I also shared a message on my, I made a message about taxes, that nothing is what it seems. There are, of course, clips going on that certain parts of the border, there's nothing happening. And I saw this morning clips where there were tanks driving around in Texas. So I think certain parts, something is happening. A lot of parts across the border, nothing is really happening. What we see is really... nothing is what it seems, but I work with what is publicly announced because that has an effect on people. If people don't really know about it, or at least the large majority have no clue what is going on in Texas, of course, it's not going to have that much effect. But now it's known, they are aware that Abbott is refusing the Supreme Court order, and of course the administration of Mr. B will have to respond in one way or the other. So people are aware of that, and that will, of course, energetically lead to things. So that's why I'm looking at certain things, the effects it has, certain things that are publicly announced. Not really sure if it's really happening what they say is, because that's the thing right now with the information war. Nothing is what it seems. But I work with what is publicly announced and how it will affect energetically. And of course, this with Taylor and Travis, I believe they will be used. And I think it just shows people that we really shouldn't put people on pedestals anymore. These celebrities, you shouldn't follow them because they don't make sense anymore. You can see really that the entire Hollywood is kind of burning and crashing, and people are not that interested anymore. They are barely making ends meet. They have troubles that are way bigger than looking at this celebrity is going to tell them something. You can just see it with all these things. I even shared a clip of Maui that Redacted made about what is happening there. You had all these celebrities, I believe Oprah and The Rock were like asking for money. These people are so rich, and then they are asking other people that really are barely making ends meet to donate money. Well, why don't you donate it yourself? So there's a lot of backlash now happening with these celebrities, and I think it's important to tear that down. And I think this is also part of it. This is like a new cycle, new fresh, new wind, and happening in that area. I do think they will be used, and I think that will just lead to a lot of people wondering what is going on why are you doing this, and really starting to question all these celebrities and what are the exact influences there. So I think that this is very important that this is happening. The other thing I wanted to take a look at is a very serious, of course, what's happening with Jordan, the border of near Syria. There were three U.S. service members were unfortunately, died, and over 30 injured in a drone strike on a military base in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border. I also shared a clip of Tucker Carlson speaking to Joe Kent about this, and he was really talking about what are these soldiers still doing there. They don't really have a mission. They really are just sitting ducks. And this has to do with the military complex and all these people involved. They just want the business to continue, and they need the unrest, they need the wars, they need that to continue doing what they're doing, and of course influencing people, countries, politics. So the I just wanted to take a look at what is the energy there, and what I got was the Six of Wands. I've got the Page of Wands. This is interesting because there's Whitehead influences now, I think, taking over. Four of Cups in the past. We've got the Star underneath the Page of Wands, and we have two tens, the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. I think this is going to end. This entire thing with all these soldiers around the world, this will just lead to ending that and that situation of what is going on. It probably will take some time, but there's going to be a victory out of this. And there, I think Whitehead influences are now taking kind of over. And of course, nothing is, we don't really know what exactly happened there. Apparently they thought that the drone was American and they didn't see it in time. And I just read something, although can't find it right now, that it's probably from a drone, not even from Iran, but they really are trying to, you know, a lot of them, I think Lindsey Graham is trying to create this war, and we have Nikki Haley already responding to that needs to be retaliated, we need to do something. I think the Whitehead influences are now taking over to show what is really going on, and that we are, you know, have all these people around the world, these American soldiers in all kinds of countries, and they have no mission anymore. What are they doing there? And really that they are sitting ducks. So I think there will be a victory out of this. And I don't think this is going to completely escalate because there is protection going on. But it's to show people. I believe in Storm Rider also mentioned that there's going to be now exposure of this military complex and how deep it runs. So you need things like this to make, you know, to stop this, to end this. Especially 10. 10 is the end of the minor arcana. It's the last card with numbers. It's the ending, and as you can see, especially with the Ten of Swords, that is a radical ending. So I think things will end in that perspective. But I do believe that we're still going to, you know, it will seem that things will kind of get out of hand in that area, the Middle East and around the world, that we are, you know, on the verge of like a World War III. But I don't think that this incident, this is really to show people what's been going on with the military complexes, with all the money that's being just pushed around to influence all these soldiers that are still in all these countries, and you're kind of wondering what are they still doing there. So I think this will just bring the discussion about that. So it will just bring things in action. I'd say that it get things moving, and I think it will help to end certain situations. So that's what I've got for today. Hope to see you in another video. Bye.